Does your neurodivergent child shut down when they are corrected? I like to call these kids my turtles because when a turtle feels like it's in danger or experiences something intense, what does it do? Goes in its shell until it's safe to come back out. My name's Lindsay. I'm a child therapist and mindful motherhood educator. Your child is doing exactly what the turtle does. A lot of times neurodivergent brains experience correction, criticism, harsh tones as rejection and have an intense emotional reaction to it because of how their brain works. This intense emotional reaction then causes them to go into fight or flight or freeze. And that's where the turtle response comes in. When they're in this mode, their brain and body is scanning for danger or perceived danger. And a lot of times their brain is perceiving us trying to get them to talk about it, to use a coping skill, to push through it, to when we're trying to reassure them and love them as danger. Because their protective mechanism takes over and it's saying, I need to shut down and either be alone or be with a safe person next to me who's not adding to the activation. In order to be that person, two things can be really helpful. The first is talking to your child when they're calm about this thing that happens when they get corrected and upset, if they are of the age where they can understand that. You can ask them how they want you to respond in that moment. A lot of kids are totally cool with you like sitting in the room with them and sitting near them, or even maybe hugging them as long as you're not talking or prompting or asking questions. Some kids like music. Some kids want to be alone, and that's totally fine as long as they're being safe. So what I usually do is I set a timer and I go check in every 5 or 6 minutes, say, how are you? Or if they don't respond, then I just say, okay, I'll be back. Just reassure them that you're here for them if they want you here for them. When that plan's in place, then they know how you'll respond and you know how they want you to respond. So you're not trying to figure out what they need in the middle of a shutdown. If you don't have time to do that before the next shutdown, what I would recommend doing is just reminding them that you're there for them, even if they won't talk to you, and saying, do you want to have music on? Do you want to go in your room? And just letting them choose. If they don't do anything, I just sit with them and I'm totally silent until I can start to see them calming down. You'll notice that maybe they yawn or they start fidgeting more or goofing more. I have a lot of clients who will shut down in session, and then I can tell when they start to like look around the room and play with stuff or fidget with stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, you're coming back now. And you can kind of gauge where that's at by asking a question if they shut down. And I wouldn't have it related to the emotional topic. I would just have it be like, what are you playing with? Or, oh, you like that Pop-It over there. And if they shut down, then I know it's not time. But if they engage, then I know that I can start asking questions or moving towards prompting coping skills or regulation. For an in-depth walkthrough of how to recognize what phase of the emotional wave your child is in, how to teach them coping skills, check out our new course, Coping for Kids, in our store.